Uh, Alright, so I wanted to talk about designing a gray water system for when you're building a house that's not directly connected to city plumbing. I wanted to design a 5-tank system effectively. A black-gray water system, rather, is what I would want to design. Make it a little easier. Black water is dirty water with solid matter that is difficult to decompose. Like, it takes a while. And gray water is dirty water with like chemicals or biological wastes, non-solid biological waste, and other stuff like that in it. I want to design a 2-tank black water system that feeds into the gray water system. Black water tanks are just septic tanks, effectively. Airtight, no form of sunlight directly on them. Well, it can be on them, but no light can be hitting the water. And it's really only there to help create bacterial growth, but you only want a certain kind of bacterial growth that will help break down your physical wastes. But you don't want anything that will like grow and clog everything. You also have to be careful that it doesn't explode. But people have been using septic systems for a while, so they've gotten very good at that last part. I hope whatever that message just flashed on the screen wasn't important. It faded before I could see what it said. The 2 black water systems will then feed into a gray water system. I'm thinking a 3-tank system. The first is going to be the hardiest plants. A gray water system, by the way, is using plants and aquatic life to parse out non-harmful chemicals that will hopefully be absorbed by the black water system. You'd have a bunch of filters in between each of the tanks. Each of the black water tanks, at least. But for the first gray water tank, I would want a bunch of like very hardy aquatic plants. Not necessarily the best at filtering, but ones that are guaranteed to last longer. Then for the second tank, it'd be like better filtration plants and a very, very small aquatic life, like plants and algae and shit. Well, no shit in this case, but still. They'll slowly feed on. Slowly feed on water, taking what nutrients they can out of it and converting it into their waste the aquatic life, which is much better for the water. Well, not for the water, but for the stuff that's used to receiving water. A lot of it's more adapted to fish waste than it is human waste. The third system would be more fish than plants. As you would begin to hit the point where plant roots can only absorb so much, and most of that would be from the fish anyway. At the third tank system, at the third gray water, fifth overall tank, and then it would feed into a drainage point, which is just a metal pipe feeding into an air gap area, which is usually like a concrete cylinder that's sat upon some sand with a lid surrounded by wood chips, with nothing being able to get to the pipe, which will be up, lifted a few feet, or maybe in a few inches, or maybe a foot rather. The water will then drip down into the sand, spread throughout the sand out to the wood chips. They're also on the sand because the sand will go a little wider than the pipe out to the wood chips. And this will be used to feed the ground water table or whatever. Yeah. That's my idea for a ground gray water system. Thank you for listening.